G'day folks, welcome to another episode of Stuff and Such. Today we're working out on the maple syrup collection, maple sap collection system. I have a little issue I need to try and figure out here. I have a theory. I'll let you know what it is. Before we get started on today's video, get you to go ahead and subscribe, greatly appreciate it, and we'll carry on here. So as you can see with the lines on these 4 lines here, they're moving at a pretty reasonable pace. Okay, you can tell by the bubbles. These 3 over here, they're running really slowly. Now, I had just figured it was because there's less taps on them and that's the reason for it. But I've since went in the bush today and I found I was actually having back pressure on my lower taps. So I have a theory. So in a past video, I had taken my lines that originally had a barrel that came down over there someplace, but it was kind of cumbersome, so I thought I'd do myself a favor and run this horizontal line to the barrel. So what I'm thinking is happening, and the reason I don't have the same amount of speed in my flow, is that being as this isn't on much of a slope anymore, that I don't have gravity in my favor working to pull that sap down, and instead it's trying to push it along instead of pulling the weight every piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut into the line somewhere along through here and then bring it, well actually I'm just going to cut the line and see if it speeds up, because ideally I'd like to put a barrel right there, and then that way I'll have enough height so I can transfer over into the collection truck. So before I cut the line here, I'm going to show what happens when you have too much sap for your line. See that bubble creeping up? So we got to pressurize here because we're not moving the sap fast enough. So my theory is if I nip off about here and then have my barrel hanging right here, that the tree will not need to push the whole line of sap out. That's the theory. And if it doesn't work, well, then we'll do some more pondering. So it didn't actually gain me any speed. I wonder if I'm still pressurized. Not really. So we'll splice her back together here. So as you can see, it's still pressurized on this over here. Now it's not so it's not really a matter of that there's too many taps on this thing. That's the typical response would be. But the problem is I have 3 lines that are doing the exact same thing. So I don't want to add too many of these little connectors back in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off here. A little extra slack here. And I'll cut this end off here. And we'll see if this speeds up at all. I think that's it. So you can see how it's going faster already. And then we'll stick it back on there and we'll see if it returns back to the same speed. It'll take a little bit here to normalize, but they're back to basically the same speed. So that's the problem. So I've kind of theorized it like this, is that what would happen is that it's kind of like a GT coming down a hill, or a sleigh, or whatever you want to toboggan on. Come down a hill, so you're using the weight of yourself, or the sap in this case, and it's pulling down. But then as soon as I hit that flat, I no longer have gravity working towards making it continue going fast. So it just kind of slows down. And now the sap behind it is piling up behind it because it's on the flat now. And that's, as you can kind of see, the bubble is now basically going the exact same speed again. Alright, so unfortunately the only way to fix this is to put a barrel up here, which I really don't desire to do, but I don't see any other option. I guess we better get started on that. So there we are, folks. We got her rerouted and new little barrel stand built there. Seems like it's working. We'll see here. Let's see. So it is sucking down here. It's getting kind of later in the day, so things will probably actually be shutting down a little bit. Alright guys, that'll round up today's little video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you figured out what I was trying to say here. It's just kind of a bit of a jumble, all sorts. So gracious, almost died. So I'll kind of do a little summary here for you. Even though you may have the slope, I probably have 40-50 feet of drop from the top to this point here. But from this point to my barrel, about 125 feet away, I only had probably about 4 to 5 feet. So what I think that did is that it, instead of having the velocity of going down the hill and the weight of the gravity, it kind of went horizontal, and now it had to try and push that sap that was in that line down the line there. Oh well, we kind of learned a little bit here. I got to go and tidy up where I cut off over there and round up some lines here. Anyways, we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Hopefully we'll have some more fun stuff out in the future.